Hey you guys, peace and blessings to you all. This is Miss Jenkins coming to you with a serious matter today. Now we all know Sandra Bland has been on every feed known to man. Twitter feeds, Facebook, Instagram, and the information that I've come up on is quite scary. It's almost disgusting. And I almost don't know how I'm going to get through this video. So let's just get to it. Beginning with a quote from her mother. Mother says, "Once I put this baby in the ground, I'm ready. This means war." On July 10th, Sandra Bland was pulled over for a simple traffic violation. Failure to signal on a lane change. The police claimed that Sandra Bland was being combative. They also claimed that she was arrested for assault on a public servant. 3 days later, she was found dead in her jail cell with a noose made out of a trash can lining tied around her neck. The autopsy was ruled as a suicide immediately. However, her family disagrees. They believe that it was foul play. A bystander records footage of the officers on top of Sandra, and although the footage is quite blurry, you can hear Sandra clearly saying that the officer was slamming her head into the pavement. Once the police officers realized that a bystander was recording, they addressed him and asked him to leave. This clearly violates the bystander's amendment, and the bystander should not have been asked to leave. He should have been asked to back up the amount of feet necessary to not be involved in any danger, or as to not be involved in any interference between the person being arrested and the police. However, there was footage released from the dash cam after her death. In this footage, you find that the state trooper had become increasingly aggressive after Bland refuses to put out her cigarette. The situation escalates, and then the police threatens to tase Sandra, saying that he would light her up. So if the bystander's footage wasn't enough proof, the dash cam footage clearly conflicts with the report that the police gave. So the cop in question has been placed under administration duty, but clearly there were 2 police officers. Why is there only 1 officer being held any accountability? Director Stephen McCall of Texas Department of Public Safety says Encina, that's the police officer, is being placed under administrative duty. We have certain procedures, and he didn't follow those procedures. A DPS state trooper has an obligation to exhibit professionalism and be courteous throughout the entire contact, and that was not the case here. The police also released footage of Bland taking her mugshot, or did they? To think that I can get clearer footage on a product that costs $200, but we still are looking at very shaky footage in prison cells where murderers, rapists, abusers, drug addicts, and even the innocent dwell. There are a lot of shaky details in this story, and just not enough time in 5 minutes to break it all down and explain this to you guys. So I will have part 2 up and running in no time. Until then, peace and blessings. I love you all of you. Be safe. Please utilize all of your non-violent ammunition to put a stop to this type of foolishness. Black lives matter. And if you do not understand why Black lives matter, and why we make it a point to say Black lives matter, as opposed to all lives matter, then you need to stay tuned for my next video. TBC.